the family you created your number one family or the family you came from? I'm going to conclude and tell you at the end of my life. But for now, let's keep going. The Bible says a man will leave the family, the woman will leave the family, and the both will join together to form a family. When they click together, they form a family. And the family can just be the two of them, or the family can be blessed with kids. That forms a family. To others, when you form this family, you have to nurture, look after for it to grow. Some people can do it on their own. Some people need the support of the external family to get the family going. But at times, most of the time, we get to forget and do things differently. And it works differently from different family. So now, we're going to approach this in two different aspects. First, we're going to put the family you created first and talk about it. After we finish, then we talk about the family you came from. So, the family you created, say you have a son, you have children, and your wife. You need to attend to them. You need to provide parental support. You need to be in the kids' life, to be in your wife's life, and same about your wife to be in your life, and the kid the same. When you redirect this focus but to your extended family, guess what? Your family suffers. But if you prioritize and put them first, and you still have enough, and say, okay, let's give this percentage to my other family, to where I come from, that still makes it work, right? But at times, some people come into the relationship with different objectives. So if you have a hidden objective and I have a hidden objective, when we come together as one, we are not focusing on the family we have created. I am focusing on my objective and he is focusing on his objective. Maybe his objective is to look after his family where he's coming from, which is okay, but did not share with this other person. And this other person is also like, I want to look after my own family that I came from. And guess what happened? When we all do that, the family you've created is suffering. Because we've redirected our attentions somewhere else. There's this story that is happening now. This guy came to US, went back home, got married, and brought the woman to US. So the woman got a job, but lied to the man that the job she's earning $1,000 a month, whereas she was earning $7,000 a month. And this man was working his own job and earning $5,000. So the man was paying the rent, footing all the bills, and providing food because the woman had just $1,000. Do you know what happened? This woman was busy accumulated her money, and traveled back home and was erecting 2 big houses without the husband knowing. And this husband just knew it only when a friend called and congratulated him and said, wow, bro, you're doing a great job. I can't believe with this strong economy, you're erecting 2 houses at the same time. This man was like, really? They said, yeah, your wife is home now. She's erecting the houses. But do you know what? This woman had her objective, her agenda. And with her agenda, she has saved her $7,000 more dollars and now was erecting the houses. And as she's erecting the houses, she didn't even let the husband know. But her entire family know she was building. So, in this situation, what are we saying? This woman was choosing the family she came from than the family she created. She has 2 kids with this man. This man has been struggling, making like this to put food on the table, making like this to pay bills, making like this to clothe her and provide food for their 2 children and themselves. But you're busy packing your own money to go and erect buildings. So in this case, will you say choosing your family? And she's building for her own family, forgetting the family she came from, forgetting the family she created. She has 2 kids with this man. This man brought her to US. This man is clothing and food, providing daily food for her. But and when this man discovered, this man went into silence, didn't say anything. She was the one who started calling people. And when people came, they said, okay, when you bought this plot, whose name is on the document? She said, my name. When you're building these houses, whose name is on the document? She said, her name. And she lied and said she was going to bring it as a surprise to the husband. She believes that everything is theirs. If everything is theirs, she would have put the name of the husband and her name together and make it as a surprise. So, and when she was asked, if you want your marriage, if your husband is willing to take you back, are you now going to change the document's name into that of your husband, since you said what you own is also that of your husband? She was not responding. That is to tell you that her real intention was to pack up everything and then divorce that guy. So at times I get to understand why people say, even the family you've created, the wife can divorce you, the husband can divorce you, the children can disown you, but your mom will not disown you. Your dad will not. You can always go back to your dad. You can always go back to your sister. Blood is blood. You can always go back to your brother. So, what do you think, people? This is so argumentative. To an extent, some people, the family they created works for them. They prioritize it and it works for them. Some people, the family they created and put all doesn't work for them, except the family they come from. So it varies from person to person. So there's not a pure written one that this one is the best. It varies from family to family. And say you come from, say, a crazy family, a family that most people do addiction, most of the things, they don't go to school, they are just all over the place, they're not doing anything. And you went and created your own family and you're focusing so that the story should not be the same, so that your story can be different. You will focus on your family. You support the other extended family to the best of your ability, but you will prioritize your family, the one that you created. So what we're saying is that all the 2 families matter. They have a role to play in your life. What you just have to do is set boundaries. If you set those boundaries and know how to navigate the 2 families, that's going to work really right. Because if you set the boundaries, you say, okay, when it's this time, when it's summertime, Whatever we have, we share. This percentage goes to my wife's family, this percentage goes to my husband's family, and this goes to us. And say at the end of the year, when say you file tax or something, you have some money or something, you say, okay, this percentage will go to support my husband's family. This person needs some support to go to school, to develop themselves. The support is not just sending money for the people to eat, because you keep sending. When you're doing the support has to be creative. Teach a person how to catch a fish, and not keep catching the fish and giving that person. Because when you keep catching that fish and giving that person, they're not going to know how to catch the fish. And what if you're not there tomorrow to continue catching the fish? And what if you get tired of giving them fish? But if you teach them how to catch the fish, they wouldn't be going and catching their own fish and also getting to help other people. And when they help other people, you are not going to be overburdened. So that we just need to set boundaries. For my own response to this, I will say, all of the matters, we just have to know to set boundaries and be aware of this goes to to my family that I created, because I'm the sole responsible person on this family. Everything comes to my head, and this goes to the family where I come from, because I'm supporting my family where I come from, right? You're supporting. They might have had one or two other ways, or other people also supporting. And when the support comes from different channels, it gets to amount to something. But the young family you've created and you're nurturing, it needs more your attention. What are we saying is, some people don't misinterpret it. If your mom is sick, you will take care of your mom. If your dad is sick, you take care. It doesn't mean you're abandoning the family you created. You're also looking after the family you came from, because you cannot have another mother. You will never ever have another mother. You can have adopted mothers, yes, but your biological mother will always be one. You can never ever have another biological father. You can have adopted fathers, but your biological father will always be one. But do you know what? You can have many wives. You can decide married and divorce many husbands. But there are some things you can never trade. So this girl was asked, how many kidneys you have? She said 2. And she said, and she was asked, if your mom is sick and needs a kidney, and your husband is also sick and needs a kidney, you have just 2 kidneys, and that means you must have 1 kidney, and you have to give that kidney. Your mom is sick, your husband is sick. Who are you gonna give your kidney to if they all matches with your kidney? Who are you gonna give to? She said, I'm gonna give my kidney to my mom. And when she was asked, why your mom? Don't you love your husband so very much? She said, yes, I love my husband so very much. And I also love my mom. And they asked, why is the reason why you're giving your kidney to your mom and not your husband? And she said, the mom had her in the tummy for 9 months, kept her, didn't take her out, gave birth to her, nurtured her, molded her to be a woman. She is what today because she's what she is today because of what the mom did to her. So she will never trade that for anything. But for the husband, it's not that she doesn't love her husband. She loves her husband so very much. But for her husband, She can always find another husband, but she will never find another mom. There will never be an exchange of another mom. So do you see what I mean? I don't mean from her perspective, she's right. And everybody's perspective matters and it's okay. She is saying that she can always get a husband, but you can never have another mom. So how you put it is the same way. If you teach your kids, the family that you've created, that this upbringing, that your mother, you never have another mother, you never have another father. These are how things function. Trust me, you're creating that family. You're nurturing your family. You're prioritizing your family. But still, you're also taking care of your family that you come from. Going behind and doing projects without your other partner's consent is telling you the ability you can go if you have the opportunity to put them down. It's telling you that there's no trust. It's telling you that you both are just cohabiting but have different objectives and goals. Those are the things we say action speaks louder than words. So in this case, for me to respond to, is the family you created your priority, or it comes first than the family you come from? It will vary from person to person. But for me, I would say all the two, the one you created and the one you come from, all of them are very important. It's left for you to know where to set the boundaries. It's left for you to know that you are the sole responsible person for this family. So I have to be mindful. If, say, God forbid, tomorrow I am not there, what happens to them? And also think about it, okay, my external family where I come from, they have this, they have this. They need me to come in here to support them. When you start balancing and trying, not like putting on a 50-50, but knowing how to set the boundaries. So some people some of the family don't feel left out. That's gonna be really good. But some women, some men or some women, they will want all the things. It's like they're coming into a grappling competition. And they will want that if something has to go to your family, the same thing has to go to my family. Okay, Ultra X said the one you created is your priority. Yes, I'm not disputing that. If that's the way you want it, make sure you also remember where you come from. But I see where you're coming from. It's right. Where you come from, the one you created is your priority because all the responsibility are resting on your shoulder. You are the main provider, support, everything, life skills, every happiness is on them. You're right to an extent. And what about a situation where you are the only person, like the person who is a wealthy person or well-to-do, who is having some money, like a little bit above others from that family? Will you then focus only on your family and let the other only on your family that you've created, or you're still gonna think about them? Just a question. So what was I saying before? I was saying that you may come from a crazy family, or you may come from a family that you're the only person who has have access to a little bit, experience some wealth or riches. Are you now going to focus only on your family that you've created and forgotten where you come from? I wouldn't say prioritize. I will always say don't always forget where you come from. You know that saying? Don't forget where you come from. Because things may get bad. The road may get stuck. And the only road you want to remember is the one that you come from. If in case you were going, you weren't bothering about the people that you were meeting and going up, guess what? When you'll be coming down, you'll be meeting them. What do you think is going to happen to you? They're going to pay you back with your own coins. Are you able to face that? Are you able to receive that? Because you know about the saying, what goes around comes around. Some families too, they are not well-mannered. The ones that you come from. They feel like they're entitled to what you're benefiting in your marriage or in your relationship or what you worked for. They feel like if you're rich or if you have a little bit of wealth, it should be divided among them. It's not a community life. You work extra to achieve that. And some people, they just sit and watch when you've gone. Say, yeah, that's my brother. You see, she doesn't even care about me. But that's my brother. We share the same mother. That's my brother. But your brother was working hard and putting effort so he could grow his family. What were you doing? You will claim the relationship that time. You will claim the support you did not provide. The minimal things you did, if it's just to go fetch water for him to wash hands, you will list them. When he was doing that, what were you doing? Because if you were also pursuing your own dream and putting your own effort, you will also be reaping. And the two of you can join heads together to develop your family. But you sit and watch when he's there, arrived now, gets married, and is trying to create his own family. That's when you come in and say, oh, now that he's well-to-do, he doesn't care about family. All he cares is the family he created. Let's be honest. I have the understanding that the family you created can disappoint you. But the family you created at times is always there for you. Because the family you created, if you created it well, your wife wouldn't divorce you. Your kids wouldn't disown you. But if you were a parent or a father who is creating this family and creating other ones out there, it's difficult to focus and keep your family whole. Because you are not focused, you were not objective. You were just doing like a societal obligation that, oh, I'm married, I have kids. While you are going outside there gallivanting and having other kids with different women. When your wife, the one that you think is yours, finally say, oh, I divorce you, or you don't wish for that. That means you didn't prioritize your family first. Neither did you prioritize the family you came from first. You were prioritizing your social mischief, your social happiness that you want to go about. And that one, when you say, oh, even the one you created and focus on can disown you, I will say no. If you nurture it well and you guys work as a team, there's no way that's gonna happen. But there can be betrayal, just like this woman who just betrayed the husband. With kids that you have with somebody, you sleep on the same bed, you share the same thing in common, but you will go behind your partner and be constructing new buildings without his consent, without his knowing, and everything put in your name. That is to tell you she has a hidden agenda. And when she's done, she's going to wipe you off, or she kick you off, or she divorce you and she's gone. So this message today is, Which is the family you will prioritize? The one you created as your priority, or the one you came from? For me, I will say both, depending on the circumstances and setting boundaries, but will always prioritize the one I created, because all the responsibilities rest on my shoulder. If my son is sick, it's my responsibility to ensure he gets well. If my husband is sick, it's my responsibility to ensure he gets better. But if I focus more to the extended family, and my brother, my uncle is sick, I abandoned my home and go to look after. I could send financial support. That's still taken care. But your family comes first. But that notwithstanding, your parents, you still have to take care of them. Setting boundaries is the number one key. Knowing where to end is the number one key. Show love. Teach the person how to catch a fish. Don't always provide fish. Teach the people how to go about it. Don't always just provide money, because they will never ever be contented with the amount of money you give them. You don't work for something, you just feel it's a right to have that thing. I hope this was helpful. Please, when you watch this, put your comment. Are you that person who's going to prioritize the family you created as your number one, or the family you came from? And also put your reason as to why. Don't forget to share this, because some other people can learn about it and improve on their own life and decision making. It's never always too late to learn. Thank you for watching. It's your girl, Humble Mirages TV. See you in my next video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.